Hey guys, thank you so much for choosing Mission Blitz this year as your mission project. We don't take it for granted that you could have chose to go any other place, but you chose, out of all places, Citrus County. So we are so thankful for that. My name is Pastor Steve Phillips, and I'm the youth pastor here at Gulf to Lake Church. And we started doing Mission Blitz 6 years ago. And I had no idea at the time that it was going to turn out like this. At the time, it was like, hey, let's just see what happens. 6 years later, I cannot even begin to explain how amazing it really has been during the last several years. And with Wes and the band and some years of worship that were just incredible. Be prepared for not just your kid's life to change, but also for yours as well. I've found my life changed through this as well, and challenged mentally and physically, because I am not young as I used to be. And so it will be a great week. Let me give you a little backstory. We, as a group, decided to meet way back earlier this year. And we spent a couple days in prayer. And we spent a couple days in just planning for this week that is coming up upon us, and wanted to make sure that all of our adults and all of our student pastors and we're well aware of what was going on before they even arrived. And so Scott came up with the idea that, hey, let's do a video that we can hand out to our adults and let them know about what's going on and why we're doing what we're doing. So when we do have our first adult meeting, that we can knock a lot of this stuff out of the way ahead of time, that you'll be prepared as what we could possibly prepare you for ahead of time, and make sure that you are fully kind of cognitive, have a reminder of what's going on, so you're not going in blind. So this is that video that we've decided to put together. So I'm going to try to be as brief as I can. I understand that I will probably not answer every single question that you have, and we will handle those questions when we come and we meet coming up in June. So, but first of all, the rule of the week, always for any mission trip, if you've been on any mission trips at all, the rule of the week that we say around here is be flexible. Blessed are the flexible, for they will bend and not break. And our goal this week is to be flexible. There's a lot of logistics that goes into the week. There's a lot of timing, that things have to be timed out just right, and we've gotten pretty good at it. But always, usually the first day is a little bit chaotic because we're trying to make sure everybody has the right tools. But usually within the first hour or two, we have all that kind of taken care of, depending on the project that you might have. So it doesn't matter how much we plan. Something always comes up that we don't see. We actually start planning everything in October. After Mission Blitz ends in June. We literally start just a few months later, start kind of pull things together, start working on things and trying to make sure that everything is put in place. And so you can plan for a lot, but some things you can't plan for. So some things happen. So just be flexible. But if there is a problem, please let me know. Please let your youth pastor know, because we can't fix problems we don't know about. So if you happen to be a group leader and you're a site leader on your project or one of the adults in the projects, what we have is these people we call project runners. We will have 3 to 4 of those this summer. We have about 16 to 20 different projects. Right now it's sitting around 16, and we're expecting to be 20 confirmed by probably in the next couple of weeks. So you'll have a project runner. You will call them. I will give you their number, whoever that one is for your particular project, and you will call them and say, hey, I need water. We ran out of paint. We need a shovel. We need a weed eater. We need a table saw. We need something. You just call us, and whatever your project runner is, they'll get hold of me, and we'll try to locate whatever it is that you need. If not, we'll go out and buy it and get that to you just as soon as we can, so you can finish your project. the biggest thing is what we have for our rules, if you're a group leader, is we leave the church between 8 and 9 most mornings, and but we ask you not to come back until after 3 o'clock. This keeps the showers from getting bogged down. It keeps everything kind of flowing. We won't even open up the showers until 3 o'clock. It keeps everything kind of in line, and a lot of times, because I'm running all over the place, the building won't even be unlocked. So don't come back before 3 o'clock. A lot of grace will be needed because of how many projects we have. So we'll try our very best to stick to our schedule. We'll try to make sure that the schedule will be posted in at least 2 or 3 different places. So you'll always know what the schedule is. As a group leader, you will have the actual schedule on paper, but you will also see it posted in our building, in our hallways and things of that matter, to make sure that everybody is aware of what's going on. So that's what you need to know as far as that. When we do something like this and we have as many projects as we have going on, and 150 plus people to 180 people, our situation as far as transportation can be kind of crazy. So everything is about timing, and when we meet coming up in June, you'll have a very big understanding who you're driving with, what van you're in, what one you're trying to kind of keep everybody, kind of flow as easy as best we can. Some groups will have 2 groups. One group will drop off another group on their way to their location. We always have logistics going on, so just be flexible on that. Just know that the situations like that, it's all about trying to get everything together. So also, something that's new this year that we've decided to do is a lot of times we have a Bible study and devotion leaders for each of the groups. We're still going to have the devotion leaders, but we have quiet times that are given out. And a lot of times we found that kids aren't doing the quiet times because obviously it's a long week, it's a tiring week. And so this year on our project sites, as part of our group devotion times after lunch, we will give our students the opportunity to go have their quiet time. So we'll be doing their devotions, quiet times part as the devotion. So they will be going and doing their quiet times, coming back, and then doing their devotions as a group. And so we'll have to make adjustments for the time while you're on site to make sure you allow for that as a group leader, and to make sure that they don't miss the spiritual implications of what we're doing this week as much as we are the projects themselves. So dress code. Every project has different kind of things going on. Some of the projects will be kind of outside work and landscaping. Some projects will be inside at the nursing homes, and some of them will have a combination of the two. And so what we ask is make sure that your students are appropriately dressed. Guys can wear tank tops unless your church has rules against them. Then you can need to go ahead and let your group know ahead of time that that's not against the rules there. Girls, we ask for no spaghetti straps. Our rule here at Gulf Lake Church is if you can't get away with it at your school, then you're not going to be able to get away with it here. And what we do is if you find someone that's not dressed appropriately, if it's from your church, you need to go handle it. If it's from somebody else's church, go find an adult from that other church group, and then they can go handle it themselves and within their own groups. That keeps everybody, from getting mad at one another, and keeps everybody on the same page. And again, we don't know some things, with as many people as you have going on. If we don't know about it, we can't fix it. So make sure that you just kind of point something out to one of the adults in the other groups, and we'll just make sure they handle it. Also, every day there is a chore chart. Now, this year's chore chart is going to change ever so slightly. We're not going to have students serving in the kitchen this year. We're actually going to have some groups here at our church that are going to serve. So this year, there will not be a serving team in the kitchen. And therefore, we ask that no students are allowed in the kitchen. So if you see your students or any students in the kitchen, we ask you to kindly just ask them to leave, because there's so many things that are going on in the kitchen. We just, unless there's permission, by me. We just ask to get them out of the kitchen. Also, Water Park Day. That is the day we're going to go to one of the Disney water parks. Now, as of right now, Blizzard Beach is under construction. Now, we're hoping that's going to be open by the time that we are scheduled to go to the water park. If it's not, we'll be at Typhoon Lagoon again, but our plan is to go to Blizzard Beach, the Disney water park. You are responsible for driving your own kids there. You're responsible for your coolers when you get there. I'll explain the coolers here in just a little bit. But you will be responsible for your kids that day, and we'll all stick to the same schedule, but you'll drive your kids there and drive your kids back there from the water park. Okay, next up, girls, if you're one of our female chaperones, I need you to really help me do this real quick. This is, I know you don't know where our building is at, and some of you guys have not been here before, but our girls are going to be in our main building. And in our main building, it will be specifically in our children's area. Now, in our children's area, there is 4 different bathrooms. There's 2 single stalls, and then kind of 2 larger bathrooms, boys and girls both. All 4 of those bathrooms, even though they're labeled boys, will be available for the girls to go into in the morning times and the evening times. And there are some bathrooms down the hall. We ask you to please do not let your students go down the hallway to the bathrooms in the main atrium. And the reason why we do that is because we have office workers and we have a lot of things going on here in the church during that week. And it helps our custodian staff to be able to, focus in and help her try to keep up with all this that's going on. So, and if you're a male, we ask them to use the bathrooms that are right off of the cafe and bathrooms that are right there. And so that is what we ask them to do. Now, there will be shower trailers, and we'll have one for the girls and we'll have one for the boys. What we ask is if we need help for adults, if you ever see out there, and we have one adult that's just typically they stand out there and they just monitor the showers, just people going in and out while the showers are open. So those are areas where as adults we ask you to help us out in helping doing those things. Also, every team will have jobs, and so that will be something that will be on the chore chart posted every single day. You'll see what your responsibilities are. As adult leaders, you are responsible to help make sure your teams, not your churches, but your team that you are assigned to make sure your team gets the job done. Also, Thursday is, as adult leaders, you need to know this, Thursday is the day to stay late. Why do we say that? Well, Thursday, if you have a project, a big project, for instance, there's one group that's going to be clearing off about 7 acres of land. If you're going to stay late, you can stay late on Monday and Tuesday, but we say on Friday, we say we've got to leave by a certain time on Friday, which is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you know that you're going to that's going to be hard for you to finish your project on Friday, make sure you stay late on Thursday. We typically have been able to move worship services back on Thursday night to make sure that we can accommodate, because we don't want to leave any projects unfinished for any of the other groups. So make sure you know that Thursday's the day to stay late, not Friday. Also, if you're an adult leader, make sure you take water breaks during the day. A lot of kids, they don't realize how hot they are, or how tired they are, or how dehydrated. It is Florida in the summer, and it is brutal. So make sure you are watching your students on site. Make sure they're getting plenty of water breaks. We will send you with plenty of water. If you run out of water, call your runner, and they will bring water right over to you. That is not an issue. If you have one of the coolers filled up with water, you might be able to fill it up there. But if you're one of the teams that have bottled waters, we will have case upon case of water to come and get you. Just last couple things that I'm going to give to you is that we will have an adult leaders meeting at 5 o'clock every single day. Why do we have a meeting? I hate meetings. I really do. But the deal is we like to find out what's going on at the projects, if there's any problems at the project. If you might finish your project early, we need to know how to do that. So we'll have a project meeting every 5 o'clock, at 5 o'clock every week about your projects. So if you're an adult, we ask you to be there. That means, you know, you may have to skip to the front of the line of showers. Oh darn, right? So make sure you get that done and know that ahead of time. If there is a problem or there is something that you have a problem with, I am very hard to track down during the week because I have about 1,000 things I'm dealing with. If there is a problem that you can't handle or you need me to handle, go to your youth pastor, whoever your youth pastor is. Let them know about it, and then let them track me down or call me, and then I will do my best to accommodate everything that I can to fix any problems that we might have. If there is a medical emergency, make sure you don't want to call your youth pastor first. If there's a medical emergency, call 911. Then call your youth pastor, because we want to make sure our kids are safe while we're out there. And last thing is we're changing up this year. Is typically on Sunday nights we have an orientation night. We do a little bit of mixers, and then we kind of go over some things. This year we're doing things a lot different this year for our orientation. We're going to get to know each other a little bit. We're going to do an orientation, and then we're going to send them straight out to their groups. During that group, as an adult leader, you are going to be handed a packet, which will have, every year we hand out basically a folder with a whole bunch of information on it. We are going to be going over during that time an evangelistic training in your group. So it is not going to be done as a large group, but it'll be done individually in your small group. Make sure ahead of time that you're familiar with how to share the gospel, because you will be teaching your kids how to share the gospel. Now, just to let you know, our students, we do the typical easy way of sharing your gospel, which is the 5-finger evangelism, which is thumbs up, good news. God's got a wonderful plan for your life. Pointer finger, I'm a sinner, you're a sinner. We all sin. Our middle finger, our central finger is Christ's central truth. Our ring finger, which takes a personal relationship, and little finger, it takes a little bit of faith. That is how we share the gospel here at Gulf to Lake Church. And you guys can, trust you on how you want to do that. We'll hand out some handouts in your packet, but you will go over that during the orientation, along with an icebreaker that will already be in there about learning everybody's name. And then, of course, the responsibilities within your group itself, such as the all-important medic, the water boy, the lunch cooler person, the tool man, to make sure all your tools are right. So you'll have all that stuff in your packet when you get there to sign out to your teams. Now, your youth minister will let you know if you're going to be one of the adult leaders for your team. Guess what? If you're an adult and you're watching this video, the chances are you're a group leader. So don't be afraid of it. Step up to the task, but also ask and challenge each student to step up to do something that's out of their comfort zone as well. It's going to be a great week. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have a lot of fun. Be praying. I think it's always a very impactful week. And we are so thankful that you chose Mission Blitz this year to come and have fun with us for our Spirit Games. Thank you guys for paying attention. Hope it wasn't too long and boring. If you have any questions, let your youth minister know. They can communicate with me, and I'll make up some great answer that sounds really fun, even though I may not even know it at the time. Love you guys. Thank you. Praying for you. God bless.